So you'd like to build an e-commerce business, but maybe you're not quite sure where to start. Or you might have started your business, but you're not getting the traction, the cut through, or the sales that you'd like. Well, you've come to the right place. My name's John, and together with my mate Ray, we've developed a system to help people take their business idea and transform it into a strong and profitable business by following a step-by-step process. And so today, I'm going to talk to you about the 3 things that hold people back. I've got 2 free resources for you. And I'm going to talk about 4 steps, and if you follow these 4 steps, these are going to help you build your business step by step. We've got over 45 years plus combined business experience, both in bricks and mortar and in online and tech. Ray recently sold his last e-commerce business that he built with his family, built it up to a 7-figure turnover business. He recently sold that, and people kept asking him, how did you do it? What was the secret sauce recipe? What was the key to that success? My background is I've been self-employed for 20 plus years, owned a number of businesses, and for the last 15 years or so, working with folks as an independent business advisor, help them scale that business from 1 to 2 million to that 10 plus million figure. And that has been in bricks and mortar businesses as well as tech and online. So we've put together a step-by-step process to help people build their business. So let's have a look at the 3 things that hold people back. And the first one is information overload, which is pretty ironic since I'm giving you a whole lot of information. Information in itself is fine, but if you don't actually have a process to take that information and develop a step-by-step process, it just remains that, information. So the idea is not around information, but transformation. So be very clear about what it is you're receiving, but also what are you doing with that information you're getting. The second thing that hold people back are the whole technical challenges. How do I go about building an e-commerce business? I've got this great idea, but what do I actually go and do? How do I build a website? How do I get my message to market? How do I import a product? How do I set up an online shop? There's a whole lot of technical challenges that can quite often stop people in their tracks. And the third thing that stops a lot of people is that they spend money in the wrong places, they don't get the results they want, and they become disheartened and they stop. That might be spending money in the wrong place on advertising. It might be spending money on the wrong product. It might be taking courses that don't give them the results that they want. But it's by doing those 3 things that sometimes just stop people in their tracks. They just don't want to go any further. And that comes to the first free resource we've got, because if you want to build your business, the first thing you really need to understand is where is it? Where are you at right now? So if you click in the description link below, you'll find a free resource which has got a self-assessment test. That has got 30 questions that are going to help you understand where's your business right now. What's working, what's not working, what are the things that you need to focus on. So if you click in the description link below, you'll be able to find that resource there. So now that we know what holds people back and we can understand where we're at, let's look at 4 things that if we follow can start to give us results around our business. And the first step is a pretty simple one, and that's simply treat your business like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, you're probably going to get a hobby result. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to work 40 plus hours on an e-commerce business. That is the great thing about this industry. But you do need to have that structured, systemized, step-by-step business approach. So treat it like a business. The second step is understand what is your product that you're going to be selling and who you're going to be selling to. And it is in that order. So be very clear on your product or bundle of products. What is it? Why would people want to buy it? Is it a want? Is it a need? What's your price point going to be? Where are you going to get that product from? Is that product that your customers really, really want? Because once you're clear on your product, then you can understand who is that customer, and more importantly, how do I get my message to market? So we build that customer avatar, and then we think about how we talk to them. The third step to follow and to be aware of, and this doesn't matter whether you're starting your business or your business has been running for a period of time, but the third step is to test, measure, and repeat. There's a business author from the States called Jim Collins, and he's written a number of fantastic books. And he's got a saying which is fire bullets before you fire cannonballs. And so what that means is try something, measure the results. If it works, fantastic, try a bit more, but if it doesn't, change what you do. Continually test, measure, and result. Just because you do something once and it doesn't work doesn't mean that the idea is null and void. It just means something needs to change. And the great thing about online as opposed to bricks and mortar is we can try these lots of changes all the time, and we can get the analytics, we can see the data, and we can understand what's working. And the fourth thing to think about is consistency and accountability. If I think about the folks that I've worked with over the years that have been able to take their business and scale it up, they've been consistent with their actions and their activity. They've treated it like a business. And it's like a flywheel. Initially, a flywheel is pretty hard to start. The momentum is slow going. But with every little turn of the flywheel, the momentum increases. And that's what consistency does. Consistency makes sure that that flywheel continues to turn. And then along with that consistency is being accountable. That's being accountable to yourself, that might be accountable to a business partner, that might be accountable to a business coach or advisor, it doesn't matter, but be accountable. Because when you're accountable, it's hard to make excuses that you haven't done anything. When you're not accountable, it's very easy to put something off until the next day or the next week. So if you follow those four things, if you treat it like a business, if you're very clear on your product and your customer, if you test, measure, and repeat, and if you're consistent and accountable, your business will get momentum and it will get the results that you want. And in the description box below, the second free resource we've got for you talks about exactly that. What are the things that you need to do to build your e-commerce business? So it's a free guide with a whole lot of information, but not just information, with tips and ideas that are going to help you take that idea and transform it into a strong and profitable business. So click on the link below for that. If you've watched this far on the video, thanks very much. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. If you have, please click on the link up here for the next video. And until next time, catch you later. Bye-bye.